To me, there is a composite solution. There cannot be one solution to bridging the gap or identification of the strategies.
Yes.
It's like that. As it is, this engineering education and any activity for earning and learning.
Yes.
It will have to be addressed to by the multiple stakeholders. Unless and until it can satisfy the needs of the multiple stakeholders. When we say multiple stakeholders, we start with students. We go on with faculty who are going to teach them. We are going to talk about the parents who are expecting a lot of things out of the money they spend on the education of the students while they are in campus. And then ultimately, we are talking about the organizer or the industry or any organization, be it, who are going to recruit them, use them for their commercial production or selling of any products they make.
So it's a collective duty.
It's a collective duty, and ultimately we want to bring change into the society. We want to grow. So ultimately it has to address to the needs of the society as a whole. So what I would say that if there is a gap, these are the few stakeholders who are seeking answers from us. I would believe that it starts, since educators are considered as the providers of the knowledge. They are the people who are going to build a student, who are going to equip him with the necessary skills. So they are the people who should be held responsible to the maximum extent. Ultimately, the product which is used to be groomed, to be developed by an organization. So they are also going to be a major stakeholder who are going to take this to the next level. So academicians first, corporates next. But ultimately, it has to talk about the student himself. So for that, I'll take one as academician, two as corporate.
Don't you think any role of government sectors
or
policymakers?
It does. Policymakers are there. But I guess some good policies are already in place.
Yes.
I guess rather than cribbing about what are the initiatives taken by somebody, if we collectively realize, if student, his parents, corporates, they sit together, and if they can come up to a solution which is acceptable to all of them, it is going to be very amicably and realistically acceptable to the government and the policymakers themselves.
It is out and a kind of utopian idea, I can say. Ma'am, what do you think that who should be more responsible to fill this gap?
First, I'll say that education and knowledge is required by corporate, but simultaneously we require acumen, quality and honesty. Which cannot be taught in the institution.
Yes, very true.
So I'll read what you have mentioned. Government, academician, universities, policymakers, SFI managers, teachers, industries, and students. I'll add here. Parents, non-government organizations, every citizen of the nation. Very important. See, education is something which doesn't build only the corporate and business. Education builds society and the nation. Every citizen of the country should contribute to this gap. It should be a moral responsibility of every soul born in India to contribute to the education, to fill the gap between two. See, acumen cannot be taught by a teacher. Acumen can be taught by mother. Honesty cannot be taught by teacher. Honesty can be taught by mother. Quality is habit. That habit can be developed by a mother, not by a teacher. There are, the world is going to basics, and somehow India is going to more and more artificial thing, which is very pathetic today. I'll go back to basics. There are two teachers for a human being. First teacher is mother, and second teacher is guru. There's a prime responsibility of these two to fill this gap. If acumen is there, corporate gap will be automatically filled in.
True.
It will be filled in.
Correct.
I will not say only government, only this. Every mother is also responsible to fill this gap. Every guru, from primary KG, junior KG to PhD, the dean, is responsible to contribute. These two contribute the most and balance what you have enlisted, plus I added contribute as a social responsibility.
Before going to Talati sir, just wait for my question. But I would like to again go back to Chhaya sir. Sir, it is quite unexpected to listen such very, I mean to say, patriotic words from a person like Soneji ma'am, who is doing not only business in India but across country or maybe outside the nation too.
Right.
So isn't it very unexpected to listen from a person like her? And we in colleges, we have such students who have altogether a different kind of impression of corporate. I would like to request both of you, even Talati sir, to throw some light on, so that when the students listen to you, they come to know that what actually industry is like this. And we have such entrepreneurs in India like Soneji ma'am. Please throw some light on that and guide students.
Yeah, this is actually this is very interesting. This is becoming really interesting. What I would say, when I say corporates are, commercial, when I use word corporate, they will, students and, general fraternity will feel that they are the people who are milking or making money, into business of making money.
Yeah.
It's not truly so. People believe that any developing nation, I would say, any developing nation, you take an example of any countries which is developing, like India, they have faced this kind of criticism. They have faced this kind of a thing that people have become too materialistic. And this is not very uncommon. If you refer to the history of the developed nations, they have also gone through this process of having this problem of, people who would be materialistic, who would be money minded, but ultimately, when you grow to a next stage, you ultimately start believing that let me contribute back to what from where I have gained.
Correct.
So they start realizing then, and this is how a nation is built. Correct. And then a developing nation will ultimately become a developed nation. Correct. Out of this psyche.
I'll add to him.
Please.
Like say, life, we always crave for that golden apple. True. Which we run for. Correct. Which is materialistic success. It is not only Bhagyesh Soneji. You might have heard Jack Ma, Alibaba, who said, when I was earning $750, I was more happy. I would like to convey this message to the students, their parents, every social element of our country, that wisdom, peace and happiness is much more important than material.
It is. Talati sir, you have two questions to address. Number one is our regular question, that who should fill this gap. And one more question specially to you from my side is, being a head of the department, when you see your students coming for the courses like MBA, and when they have some another kind of illusion of a world like corporate in their mind, how do you manage them? And what do you think, that how should this gap be filled?
First, I would like to answer your first question.
Yes.
That is, how and who will fill these gaps. Basically, I categorize the gaps into two categories.
Okay.
Gaps due to the lack of skills and gap due to the lack of will.
Very good. Yes.
The responsibility depends. If it is the gap due to the lack of skills, the responsibility comes on the shoulder of the government, universities, academicians and corporate.
Very true.
If it is the gap because of the lack of will, then it comes from the parent side, like madam side.
Yes.
It's again a duty of teachers also.
Yes.
If the student is not skilled, we can make them skilled by introducing, like government. It's not like the efforts had not been put. Government is putting the lots of efforts. Government has introduced the skill development programs.
Yes.
Like university, the GTU has also introduced a number of programs.
Yes.
We know very well the CPD and the MEM program, especially focusing on the management field. Recently, GTU has in fact introduced Master in Applied Management.
Yes. Yeah. We know.
The program is a revolutionary program in the field of management. It's purely focusing on the practical and the practical skills. And for this we should appreciate, and I must appreciate the visionary Dr. Akshay Agarwal sir, the Vice Chancellor GTU, that he has made this course so with the foresightness that it's a revolutionary course in its field.
Yes.
Number 2 is, when the students come for the admissions in MBA, MBA is a 2 or 3 century old course, and it's become a brand like it's MBA. But in the real sense, the students have some blur idea about this course. When we want to make them run a business, because they are the master of business administration.
Yes.
But the way we teach them, they always, it is like we want to make them an employee.
Yeah, a Macaulay education system.
Yes.
Correct.
We want them to manage a business.
Yeah.
But across the 2 years of their education, we treat them like they are going to get a good job.
It is really bitter truth. Thank you for touching this point during this discussion.
While the students inquire about the colleges, they look, even the colleges, when they publish their advertisement, they focus on the placements.
Yes.
They don't focus on the same thing you said. It is better to become a job giver rather than to become a job seeker. If one entrepreneur will be produced, thousands of employment opportunities can be produced. If you will produce only an employee, it is a single employee. If you will produce an entrepreneur, there are thousands of jobs available. He will create the jobs. So this is...
So to you, that why don't our students think of making their own business rather than being a kind of, as you rightly said, they're doing service to someone else? Why don't they come out of the college and think of doing their own business?
Number of reasons.
Yes.
The culture, the background where he or she belongs to. If your father is a employee, you would never think about going for a business.
Correct.
Number 2 is, somewhere it is the lack of fund. No doubt government is giving the ample opportunities for the upcoming entrepreneurs, like venture capitalists are there, and number of private equity funds, and number of the
So
initiatives are made efforts. But still the students, the hesitation to take the risk, like the first characteristics of entrepreneur is he should be a risk taker. So
confidence.
So these are some of the lacunas, these are some of the lacking points where the students don't try to make their own enterprise.
I can add one line
please.
That the students are ready to go for bungee jumping for fun, but they are not ready to go for bungee jumping to take risk as entrepreneurship.
Right.
Sir, before we go to the next question, do you have something to add to what Jai Talati sir already said? Although he told it from his own point of view, being an MBA person, what do you think as a head of the department when you see your students?
When I see my students, 80% mass is we are getting, that is low. Right? So their education background is very much low.
Correct.
So we are going to start a placement drive, right? From the basic level of first year.
Okay.
So that is not actual, that is mock rounds.
Okay.
Right? So in mock rounds they will get the idea about the corporate world, and the corporate, we are saying that it is industry. For engineering, it is also a college can also be corporate.
Correct.
Because who are faculty members who are there?
Yes, they are
also from the masters and right. So and as one of my friends said that there is a B.Ed course, B.Ed like course, right? That should teach the faculty members how to teach. Pedagogy courses.
Yes, correct.
Sir, I'd add just one more point. Touching upon the entrepreneurship point that Professor Talati talked about. Well, I see entrepreneurship. It's a different thing, I would say. Entrepreneurship will take a lot of contributing factors to build upon. Unless and until this different factors are addressed to, one person would not become an entrepreneur. But I would still feel that it is the academic institutes which will build the technical competence or the technical skills. May not be pure technical, but I would, in generalized, I would call it technical skills, be it pharmacy, be it engineering, be it medical, or some technical competency which needs to be built at the campus before it gets transferred to the corporate.
Yes.
I'll add that.
Please.
That, like, you see, before, gone are the days when it was said that money makes money. He very rightly touched the topic, where I will transform in entrepreneurship language, that today idea makes money.
Right.
Now the student will get idea from where? From proper education. From proper technological education, from proper laboratories.
Right.
Yeah. So when he says that the educational institution or the faculty is a medium to transform their idea to the students, and that idea will create entrepreneurship. That's the basic requirement. That's a basic. See, funds and all. There are many governments who tried for technopreneurs. Technopreneurs, they failed.
Correct.
Because only knowledge of technology is not enough. A new idea with the knowledge of technology. He touched the new idea. That is what is. See, if the faculty understands this, this is the responsibility of the educational institutions, that they give them opportunity. They give opportunity to the faculty to transform this to their students. That again is a gap which should be filled.
Even GTU has also introduced entrepreneurship cell.
Yeah.
And they are giving IDP, UDP projects funding more than 10 lakhs also for projects. Right? So they are funding, but the sake of knowledge and these things are not making our students the entrepreneur.
So the message
in last budget,
sorry.
In last budget, Jaitley allocated 10,000 crores for startups. Last budget. Now there are many incubation centers in educational institutions. So again the gap. We are talking about the gap, and somehow it is interesting that we are
the
getting
gaps on their own coming up to us to be discussed.
The gap between, where is the tie-up between this incubation center and that allocation of 10,000 crores? Because a venture capitalist could be vulture capitalist very easily. But this 10,000 crore, so this, as I said, that upgradation, entrepreneurship never wait.
Yeah, correct. Very
It is easy, but it won't wait. The grabbing opportunity, that means the educational institution, there should be one department